One of Australia's most ruthless and bloodthirsty criminals, Abuzar Sultani, also known as Abs, aged 35, has now admitted to a fifth murder, further solidifying his status as one of the most notorious and dangerous figures in the Australian criminal underworld. On Tuesday 29th of January 2024, the former Burwood Rebels leader turned hitman, pleaded guilty in the Sydney Supreme Court to the murder of former bikie clubmate Mark Easter, which occurred more than 8 years ago. This marks the fifth occasion he has admitted to a murder charge, having previously pleaded guilty to the killings of 4 other men. His 4 previous victims are his former clubmate Michael Davey, Comanchero associate Mehmet Yilmaz, mafioso figure Pasquale Barbaro and drug runner Nikola Srbin. As the court proceedings unfold, the nation grapples with the chilling reality that Sultani remains an enduring menace, leaving a trail of devastation that defies comprehension. The sinister narrative of his criminal exploits continues to unfold, painting a grim portrait of one of Australia's most notorious and dangerous figures, casting a long and haunting shadow over the country's criminal justice system. In 2015, the unsettling disappearance of Mark Easter led to a grim discovery when council workers stumbled upon his lifeless body in the bushlands of Sydney's northern suburbs on June 23 of that year. The 37-year-old had been shot 4 times in the back of the head with a .22 caliber pistol. Easter's last known movements included his presence in a white van outside his Little Bay residence, observed 3 days prior to the discovery of his body. The investigation into his murder would take a dark turn, eventually leading to Abuzar Sultani, who was scheduled to face trial for the shooting. However, this week marked a chilling twist as Sultani entered a guilty plea, leaving the sentencing phase for a later date. The murder of Mark Easter is the latest charge that Sultani currently faces, concluding nearly 8 years of court hearings, many shrouded in secrecy due to media restrictions. Sultani is already serving 3 consecutive life sentences without parole, earned for the brutal murders of Michael Davey, Mehmet Yilmaz, and Pasquale Barbaro in 2016. A Supreme Court judge aptly characterized these acts as a mindless killing spree, attributing them to Sultani's quest to bolster his underworld reputation or for personal motives. In the subsequent 2 years, Sultani faced additional sentencing, receiving 20 years for the fatal beating of low-level drug dealer Nikola Srbin, and a staggering 28-year term for an array of charges encompassing gun selling and possession, drug supply, and directing his criminal network. Sultani's parents came to Australia from Afghanistan in the 1980s, fleeing the Soviet occupation of their homeland and aspiring to a better life. Sultani was born in Australia on 16 January 1989. Raised as the 3rd child in a working-class family in Sydney's West, Sultani has been described as a clearly intelligent man who should have made a decent contribution to the community. In his mid-20s he had a commerce degree from Macquarie University in 2014, and was enrolled in an MBA. Sultani joined the rebelsmc in around 2012 and became the leader of the Burwood chapter. However, his mindset changed and by 2016, he was a feared organized crime figure and gun for hire, wreaking havoc across Sydney streets. He served as the leader of a highly organized criminal syndicate, reportedly engaged in a range of illicit activities, including extortion, debt collection, trafficking firearms, distribution of drugs, and the acquisition and sale of stolen vehicles. As time passed his reputation grew, and by the end of 2016 he and his squad broke away from the rebels and formed their own group known as the Afghanis or Abs Boys and Murder Crew 13. After law enforcement brought him and his team down, Abuzar Sultani pleaded guilty to the 3 murders in 2019. The motives varied and were in some cases unclear. Killed in March 2016 in Kingswood, the first victim was Rebels bikie Michael Davey, a member of the Penrith chapter of the Rebels. There had been tensions between Sultani's crew and the Penrith Rebels, and Sultani had spoken of a bad pseudo-deal involving Davey. He was shot several times outside a Kingswood home in the early hours of March 30, 2016 and died at the scene. The second victim was Mehmet Yilmaz, an associate of the Comanchero bikie club, who was gunned down at St. Mary's in September 2016 in front of his partner. He had been in a dispute with a lone wolf bikie, an associate of Sultani, over a $20,000 drug debt. The third victim was Mafia identity Pasquale Barbaro in November 2016. Barbaro had been implicated in the murder of Antone, Sultani's mentor, and the court found Sultani was motivated by revenge. Days after the murder of Barbaro, Sultani left flowers at Antone's grave. Sultani's right-hand man, Shir Munshizada, told an associate the murder was personal. Sultani's other motivation was to boost his street cred by killing a prominent underworld figure like Barbaro. The allure of enhanced reputation within criminal circles fueled Sultani's desire to solidify his standing as a formidable force within the criminal underworld. The act of eliminating someone as notorious as Barbaro was perceived as a significant step in establishing dominance and earning respect among his peers in the criminal fraternity. In October 2022, Sultani also pleaded guilty to the fourth murder of Nikola Srbin, during a pre-trial hearing in the NSW Supreme Court. Srbin suffered blows to the head from a baseball bat and mallet during the attack, later falling unconscious after staggering back to a nearby unit. He was placed on life support at Royal Prince Alfred Hospital, but succumbed to his injuries on June 5, 2013. Sultani had three main members in his crew, namely, Shir Munshizada, Mirwais Danishar, and Joshua Baines, individuals known for their own brand of ruthlessness and cunning tactics. Each member brought a unique set of skills to the table, making the crew a formidable force in the criminal underworld. Munshizada was also convicted for the three murders after facing trial, while Danishar and Baines were found guilty for their involvement in the killing of Barbaro but were acquitted of other charges. It was only Munshizada who received triple life sentences with Sultani. Baines was handed a sentence of 36 years, with 27 years to be served without parole. Danishar was found guilty of being an accessory before and after Barbaro's murder and was jailed for at least 11 years and will be eligible for parole in 2031. With 3 life sentences already etched into his criminal record, the anticipation surrounding the outcome of Sultani's final guilty plea is palpable. The legal proceedings have become a dramatic culmination of his audacious exploits and the consequences they have incurred. Whatever the verdict, we remain committed to keeping you informed as this captivating story continues to unfold. Stay tuned for updates on the fate of Sultani and the tales of his criminal legacy. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular bikie updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, share the word like wildfire, and hit that like button. And for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks to show some love. It goes a long way in keeping us motivated and the channel thriving. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care.